What's up, good people? That reminds me of a song. Of course it does. People make the world go round. People make the world go round. How does it go? Trash man didn't get the trash today. Oh, why? Because they want more pay. Something, something, so they can help pollute the air. But they're what makes the world go round. The ups and downs, our carousel. Hold on, y'all. Go underground, young man. Woo! People make the world go round. Tonight, we are joined by Cynthia Johnson. While I get my things set up here. We are joined by Cynthia Johnson, and I am joined by Ronaldus, a face, a voice you haven't seen in a long time. But he be in the background working. He be in the background working for us, honey. Keeping us together.
It's funny how the tables turn. Let me stop. Good evening.
Listen. Don't be trying to steal my thunder. That is my thing, honey. That is my thing. Hey, you know what, Ronald?
Yes, love it.
I'm gonna need you. What Melanie say? Check the sheet. Check the Discord.
What she want me to share, honey? Oh, honey,
I can't believe you did not have the background, Ronald.
Honey, I was told girl, you do your own thing up here, baby. So I had to make sure we was in alignment, baby. In alignment. I had to make sure we was in alignment, honey. Hold on, I'm trying to get this background together.
It's so rare that we have the candidate who is here while we are here at the same time.
It is.
And she is here, but
it's a breath of fresh air.
She disappeared? She left the room? Where'd she go? Cynthia, darling. Don't make me call Phaedra. I'm sorry.
Baby.
I saw her and now she's disappeared. When I came in, she was here. Come back, Cynthia. We want to meet you, Cynthia. Maybe it was when you started singing. Oh, look at you.
I have arrived, honey. I have arrived. The sun kissed.
Your skin is glowing, honey. What is the formula? Please. What is the formula? What are we doing?
That South Korean stuff, baby.
You be using that South Korean skincare? Glowing. Got your hair did too? Ooh, okay.
I had to come up and show. Miss Cynthia.
I mean,
I got edges.
Look at that, honey. Listen, y'all.
I got edges.
Look at that, honey. Listen. Listen to us. We're
Oops,
so
sorry,
sorry,
Miss
Miss
Cynthia.
Cynthia.
I'm sorry, Miss
We
Cynthia. We
have
just
class. We do. I promise you. I promise there's a class. I'm in class right now. I don't know.
I'm sorry, Miss Cynthia.
Are you there, Miss Cynthia? Can you turn on your camera for us? Do you need a tutorial, Miss Cynthia? What happened? She's muted.
Yes, she is muted. She's trying to get her stuff together.
It also shows that someone is in the queue. Who was in the queue?
Not
No
this
one.
early. They could never.
Listen, y'all. Don't get on Rosta's bad side. I'm sorry, Ronald.
Listen, y'all.
Miss
Don't get on
Cynthia's
Ross's bad
back.
side. I'm sorry,
Ronald.
Listen, y'all. Don't get on Ross's bad side. I'm sorry, Ronald. Listen, y'all.
Oh, do I really sound like that?
I'm sorry. Okay, can you see me now? Can you hear me?
We can hear you,
Mm.
but we cannot see you.
Okay, let me see if I can figure out what's going on.
Do you require a tutorial?
No, ma'am. No,
Okay.
ma'am, I do not. Can you see me now?
No. Yes. There you are. There you are.
Hi.
I only asked because a lot of the candidates, young, old, middle age, young age, sometimes they don't know how to turn the camera on. That's all.
And I probably would be in the category with the candidate of a certain age. Okay.
We're not going, Miss Cynthia, we're not going to say certain that. We're just going to say well kept.
Okay. Thank
Right.
you.
You
I
know
like
what?
that so much
Ronald, take
better.
over. Take over, Ronald. Just take over, please.
We're
Because you know
not
how to
going to do
talk
that.
to
We're going to
people.
say well kept.
Thank
Ronald knows how to
you.
talk to
Thank
people.
you.
I am very rude. I apologize.
No, it's wonderful to be here. Thank you all for having me this evening.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes, thank you for coming tonight. You are running for tonight and every night, apparently. You're running for Georgia State House, and the primary is May 19th or the
It
12th?
is. It
Okay,
is
May 19th.
May 19th, but early
Okay.
voting begins next Monday, April
Yay!
27th through May 15th.
And I live in Georgia, but I'm not in your district.
Right. But I think early voting
Oh
begins
yeah, it does. It does
everywhere.
still start. I got my registration. They actually, Georgia Secretary of State office sent me my registration card where I vote and things in that nature. So I'm up to date.
Very
Yes,
good.
Ronald. You still
Very
have to
good.
vote. There's still so
Yes.
many things happening. Georgia just had a very major election. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? And
2 weeks ago.
we saw that prized pony being paraded on the news today at a press conference. You know what? I really want to do this to be more modest, but I'm hot. I'm sorry, y'all. I am
And you
roasting.
know what?
So I'm not disappearing, excuse me. I just want to let you all know I need to do something to my camera. So please keep talking. I can hear you.
No problem. No problem.
Okay,
You know,
and yes, we're just going to go ahead and tell everybody who is here in the room to please send your daily heart me to the account and support our efforts here. We appreciate you. Also, share out this live. We have a candidate this evening who is running for Georgia State House. Even if you are not in the state of Georgia, you can come in and listen to her platform. Learning about state politics is something everybody needs to do. You need to learn about the state government. You just do. Oh, look at your back. You on the beach, Miss Cynthia.
Yes, that's where I really want to be. Okay.
But also, when you're in here, we encourage you to participate in the conversation in the chat. Excuse me. But also, if you have a question for Miss Cynthia, you can hit the multi-guest and you can come up and ask her yourself, or you can leave it in the chat as well as, just general conversation. You guys just conversate, but please be kind in the comments. Use TikTok-friendly language. That is a reminder for the candidate and for the moderators and for the chat. All of us We got to keep this thing going. No violations tonight. No violations. No violations. Fingers crossed. Also, please share this with your followers. Press down on the prompt. You'll see a list of followers come up and just hit send all the way down the line. Miss Cynthia, were you able to share this with your followers? Do they know you're here?
Yes, I did. I hope
Okay.
many of them will be here as well. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Yeah, I did share it.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Ayana. Co-moderating with me today is Ronald. Hey, Ronald. This is Our Vote Counts, a nonpartisan coalition of citizens from diverse states and backgrounds, united by a shared commitment to empowering voters and promoting candidates who stand for integrity, inclusion, and accountability in the upcoming elections. Our Vote Counts is more than a slogan, more than a name. It's a promise, a movement, a rallying cry for democracy. Together, we are shaping the future, one informed vote at a time. And as Ronald pointed out, he is in the state of Georgia. Miss Cynthia is in the state of Georgia. I am in the great state of Ohio, very far from Georgia, far from the beach, although we do have beaches. But I'm in Ohio. We do this all over the country. We have moderators and hosts from all over the country. This is a nationwide effort that we're building here, a nationwide coalition. Miss Cynthia Johnson is a lifelong resident of Cordell. Did I pronounce that correctly? Cordell. I apologize.
Yes.
Cordell in
That's
rural
okay.
Southwest Georgia. She is a retired educator, a wife married to her husband for 45 years. Ooh, God bless it. With 3 adult daughters and 2 grandchildren, Cynthia and her husband are also founders and pastors of a thriving ministry located in the heart of Cordell. She chose a life of public service because she has a deep passion for serving others and advocating on their behalf. Miss Cynthia, please tell us more about yourself and why you are running for office.
I would love to, again, for anyone new that is just coming in, joining us. I am blessed to be here tonight, and I thank our moderators tonight for having me for Our Vote Counts. Truly, our vote does count, and we are trying to impress upon everyone that we know. That they understand that principle. It is so important. But I am Cynthia Johnson. A lot has already been said about me. Ayana, thank you so much for that introduction. I am, again, a lifelong resident of Cordell, Georgia, and Crisp County, Georgia. It is on the southeastern side of Georgia. We are about an hour south of Macon, Georgia. So we sit a little bit in the middle between Macon and Valdosta. I have been, working the community. It has been my life, my passion for many decades. Also serving the public school system in various districts around my area. As you mentioned already, I am a faith leader. My husband and I, in addition to all of the work that I do community-wise, we are pastors of a thriving ministry right here in Cordell, Georgia. So with all of that being said, the main thing to me is the reason I chose a life of public service and also to run for this particular office, mainly because I had sat back for many, many years and just watched people in my community feel unrepresented, feel unheard, felt like our particular area was not remembered. So I felt that they needed someone who was from right here in the community that looked like them, that talked like them, that understood the way they understood. To be able to fight for them and speak on their behalf. So advocating on behalf of the community has been a major passion of mine as well. So I decided to run for office to give voice to the voiceless, to make sure that my part of the world here in rural Georgia was well represented, and that the needs of the people were spoken about. And that is just a little bit of why I chose to run for office.
Okay, Miss Cynthia, just as kind of like an icebreaker, what has your family, your kids, your grandkids said about your run for office? Are they like, yay, mommy, Nana, yes, run for office, change the world? Or are they like, are we going to have to be on TV? Are we going to have to dress up? Are we going to have to go to rallies? Please.
Definitely the latter. Okay. No, please don't tell us we'll have to be on TV. Please don't tell us that we have to go hold up signs. And I kid you
Oh,
not. So I have given them complete autonomy. Let mom do this. I just need for you to be my cheerleaders in the background, send up a lot of prayer, a lot of support. I try out a lot of things on them. Okay, watch this. Tell me what you think. And they are very brutally honest with their mom. They're going to tell me the truth about everything. But yes, they choose to be in the background, and I respect that. But I'm sure once the tides change, and I will win, when I do win, they will
yes,
be
ma'am.
there, I'm sure, front and center.
All right, I love that. And let's hear a little bit about your district. The current incumbent is Noel Williams Jr., correct? And he
That
is a
is
Republican.
correct.
He is a
Yes,
Republican. The counties you serve
that is
are
correct.
Crisp County, Pulaski, Wilcox, parts of Ben Hill, parts of Houston County. The population is 59,760 around that number. It's pretty diverse as far as white and black residents, some Hispanic and Asian. The minimum wage, whew, $7.25. The median household income is $57,577. And Miss Cynthia, on your platform, you've stated that too many seniors are being forced to choose between paying for medication and covering basic living expenses. What specific policies will you support to reduce out of pocket prescription drug costs for seniors in your district?
I will definitely support policies that will cause the seniors in particular to receive the benefits they deserve to have. I've watched, as you have stated, many of the elderly, including my own mom, who is an 83-year-old wonderful woman. I've watched her struggle to cover the cost of her medical bills and her prescription drugs while still trying to make ends meet off of the Medicaid that is provided for her. So definitely the bills that I intend to propose that will help them are in line with healthcare coverage, number one, and even expanding that beyond what many of us have seen in the past. Looking ahead, there are already bills that are already out there that don't meet the cut, for people. People are still fighting and struggling every day just to be able to get what they need in order to survive. And a lot of them don't have anything beyond Medicaid. So definitely expanding current Medicaid and Medicare benefits, making sure that there are extended hospital stay coverage for people if the need arises. And I'm intending to propose a policy that will allow even more to be included into the Medicaid subsidies that many of our elderly receive on a monthly basis.
Now, Miss Cynthia, what we saw during the, I'll just call it big germ of 2020 was that Georgia expanded its Medicaid to make sure that all of its residents were receiving at least some minimum basic health care without the great expense. But after the, I think it was the Rescue Act, the American Rescue Act expired, Georgia rolled back that Medicaid expansion.
Right.
Why do you think the state did not keep that Medicaid expansion?
Part of the reason, I think the economy itself was a big part of the reason they did not keep it. I think they were struggling, trying to discover where they could make the most cuts at. And unfortunately, it always seems that it's the people at the lower end of the spectrum that end up suffering the most. You try to save on one hand, but then you end up hurting the very people who need, the subsidies and the Medicaid and the Medicare and the hospital insurance. And I just think that they tried to look for places to cut, and they cut it from the ones that unfortunately needed it the most. So I think it had a lot to do with the economy, a lot to do with what they were willing to roll back on. And again, hurting those that need those subsidies more than in anything. A while back, there was a proposal known as SB 50, which was poised to close the coverage gap by enrolling at least up to 175,000 uninsured Georgians into private marketplace plans using federal Medicaid matching funds for Georgia. But however, this has declined for at least the past 15 years. So what we are looking and hoping to do, and there is a senior senator from my area that actually posed SB 50, and his whole thing was, that because hospitals were on the verge of closing, that there were millions of dollars that could actually be tapped into. And he actually led this particular bill. He co-sponsored it, called SB 50. So I am looking to join forces with him when I am there in the State House to hopefully rewrite this particular bill and further extend it even further.
Okay. And my final question is about rural hospitals and hospital closures. Is this something that you would have to face in your district, hospital closures due to either the big, beautiful bill or the loss of, say, doctors and nurses, like skilled professionals in your district?
Actually, not in my particular, not locally where I live, but definitely currently there is, I think there are roughly about 30 hospitals throughout the area where I lived and all the combined districts. And there is a possibility that there will be closures. I visited one of my districts just a week ago. And the talk there amongst the residents, especially in Pulaski County, which is Hawkinsville, Georgia, it was all over the news that there is a proposal to close that hospital there. And it breaks my heart because people in rural areas, they are the ones that need these services more than anyone else. And again, like I said previously, the places that need it the most somehow end up being the ones that get the major cuts. The people that are there in that particular district, they would have to drive, some of them more than an hour away just to receive hospital care if that particular hospital closes in their area in Hawkinsville, Georgia. So I am definitely pushing, doing everything I can to make sure that that does not happen. Although it's not not looking very promising because, again, they're going to cut wherever they feel they can cut and save the most. And unfortunately, it is most of our rural areas that suffer the brunt of this.
Okay, and thank you, Miss Cynthia. I'm going to turn it over to Ronald to talk about the economy.
Hi, Miss Cynthia, First Lady Johnson, if I can say that.
Yes, thank you, thank
No
you,
problem. I
thank
just want to
you,
recognize you for your work and what you
thank
are
you.
doing within your community in regards
Yes,
to your leadership in the church. Um,
thank you.
you have talked about expanding home ownership and revitalizing rural communities, but many low-income
Mhm,
families in the district are still stuck in a deteriorating housing and price out of
mhm,
ownership. Which
mhm.
specific programs or funding mechanism will you implement to make affordable homeownership and neighborhood revitalization a reality within your districts that you're responsible for?
And thank you. Is it Ronald? I want to say it correctly.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
it
It's
Ronald?
Ronald. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ronald, thank you so much for that question. Specifically, in terms of economic development, I will propose a rural housing development grant that will allow housing for low income individuals. I want to say this before I dive too deep into it. There was an opportunity recently here in my area that allowed for housing development to take place. They built a wonderful structure here
Mhm.
in the heart of my community. But the problem with it was only for migrant workers. Now, I am not against migrant workers. They deserve a right to have affordable housing just like everyone else. But the issue is it was situated in the middle of one of the most poverty stricken areas
Mhm.
within my community, and
Mhm.
as such, in my view, as a candidate, what it appeared to be was we're going to put this here. We're placing this housing development structure here in the midst of people that really need it the most. Okay,
Mhm.
and not giving them the opportunity because the grant coverage did not cover it, only covered for migrant workers and those who worked, in some type of farming. They did some kind of agricultural work. There were stipulations to them being able to live there. So, my proposal is that these types of stipulations be removed. I know that there is a reasoning behind the reason, the final conclusion of how this ended up coming to be. But in lieu of that, there should have been, if this structure was going to be erected, there should have been another equal structure that would have appealed to low income individuals, so that it's not like they're having to watch this unfold right before their eyes and not have access to it, which to me makes sense for everyone included. So therefore, if they were able to get a rural development or housing grant, I know that there are more of them out there. And that's one of the things I will push for, to make sure that there is economic development that encompasses rural housing development grants, especially for areas like my area and all of the rural areas that my district 148 will represent. And in the process of doing that, hopefully, and you'll probably get to this, it will allow us to be able to build upon that by keeping jobs here locally in our area so that people won't feel that they have to move somewhere else, just to make a living and just to enjoy a comfortable living at home.
I totally agree with you. I just want to make two statements in regards to that. Well, a question and a statement. My first question is to you. Do you felt like did that grant program come from the state?
Yes, it
Okay.
did come from the state.
Okay.
Yes, it did.
And two, just to make an adjustment, being an implant from New York, I would say if we had to make any amendments to that bill, 40% goes to, or let's say just 60 or 80% goes to local
Mm-hmm.
citizens, and then we can offer an amendment where 20% goes to the migrant workers to help offset that. You know what I'm saying? Because now,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it seems like and this goes back to my thought process of why the man in the office in the current seat of the highest land in the nation can push this narrative to say that the U.S. people are getting left behind because such programs. I can see from the naked eye, and
Mm-hmm.
especially in these rural areas where he performed very well within that because they felt like
Mm-hmm.
they're being left behind.
Mm-hmm.
The second part of that, my question
Mm-hmm.
is just to dig a little deeper. Will this work in conjunction with the federal government already offers with the USDA rural grant, where people can use that USDA for rural grant to actually help them offset the cost of buying a house? I mean, with the down payment precisely.
Most definitely, it would. Actually, in 2026, the General Assembly session
Mhm.
developed what is called HB 1153, which would expand low income housing tax credit to single family homes, causing affordable households and allowing affordability for households with 80% of an area medium income. So HB 1177 would expand the financing authority for local development authorities to include also affordable housing. So it can be done, is what I'm saying. In the short term, all of this can be done. There's a ready, an available connection that will allow it to take place in just the manner that you spoke of.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, I just have just one more question for you. Many communities struggle to attract and retain workers because of the limited quality of housing, as we just thought. I guess that was the purpose of this grant. How would you ensure your housing policy also supports workforce growth so local businesses can hire and expand?
I would insist that businesses, especially those receiving large corporations and businesses that receive the tax credit, I will insist that they hire locally. It
Mhm.
is important that we provide jobs for our local residents. And a lot of people, as I traveled around the state to the different districts, they were concerned about the young people when they graduate high school leaving the area to
Mhm.
find better paying jobs, where it seems that they would get paid more. But if we invest more in our local communities, if we continue to invest in the students when they get out of high school, providing something for them, giving them a reason and an incentive to want to stay in our local communities, then we won't lose so many of them to places like Atlanta and other places if we just invest more in our local economy. So I am pushing for local jobs and making sure that there is infrastructure and all the things that they need to be able to thrive and live productive lives. A lot of them love their hometown, but they can't live according to the wages and what is being provided for them here, so they move away. So my main objective is local jobs and keeping those local jobs here, boosting the economy in a way so that our young people won't have to move away.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. I think I haven't done this in a while, Miss Cynthia, but I think it's time for some rapid fire fun questions.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes, that
All
is
right. Let's
correct. They're not
let's
going to be
do it.
fun, though. They won't be
Oh,
fun,
okay.
but they
Okay.
will be
Okay.
rapid fire.
Okay. All right. Let's
And
do it.
And before I do that, I just want to say thank you to Cianca for the interactive TikTok live gifts. Cianca always comes through with the gifts that make your hair light up and your face light up, and you got the bunny ears. I
And the
love you.
glasses.
I love you. And the
Oh,
glasses,
I
yes.
love the way she changed my glasses. I might look for some of those. Is it on the TikTok shop? You ready?
Okay, Miss Cynthia. Okay, these are yes or no only. Should the state of Georgia intervene when a rural hospital is at risk of closing?
Yes.
Should seniors in rural counties get state-funded transportation to medical appointments?
Yes.
Should teachers in Georgia get an automatic annual cost of living raise?
Yes.
Should broadband internet be treated as a public utility?
Yes.
I love the way you say yes.
I mean it.
Like,
I
yes.
fire behind it. Yes.
I love it. Should Georgia increase funding for rural mental health services?
Definitely yes.
Okay. Should the state audit how funds are spent in low performing school districts?
Should they audit it?
Should they
Should
audit how the
we?
funds are spent?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Should the state increase penalties for environmental violations that contaminate rural water systems?
Yes.
Okay. And finally, should the state require all candidates to disclose their major donors?
Yes.
All right. See, that wasn't so bad. That was easy,
And I
right?
tell you, it brought up it stirred up a lot on the inside of me. I tell you, it did. Each one of those questions, I don't think there was a one that I said no to. It was completely yes to each and every one of those because I am passionate about each one of those rapid fire questions that you posed to me.
And that's a lot of issues to have to address for just your one district. You have to deal with the rural, you have to deal with the environmental, you have to deal with the school district, healthcare, you have to deal with hospital closures. That is a lot, okay? And I just want to ask you personally, what do you think the incumbent has not done at the state level to address those things? Like, why do you think you would be better at addressing them than he is? What is he not doing, in your opinion?
In my opinion, being visible, being someone who is there for the community. Sadly, a lot of the constituents that I have spoken with in each of the 5 districts that I have been in, with the exception of my district, which is my opponent's hometown, they don't know my opponent. And I've asked them specifically, who is your state representative?
Oh, wow.
And it's been a resounding, I have no idea.
Oh,
So
wow.
this is part of the reason that I chose to run. Again, In order for you to be able to make a effective difference in the areas that we are saying that this is who we are running for, and we're running for our communities, we have to be visible for the people. We have to be someone who is a spokesperson for whatever it is whatever the issues is that our constituents are dealing with. Now, some might argue, well, he probably showed up and I didn't know it. But I guarantee you, in the short time that I have been running for office, if you mention my name in any one of those districts, they'll readily be able to say, oh, I remember her. Yes, I know who Cynthia Johnson is. And this is important. We have to elect people and send people into, as Ronald said, to the highest positions in our state. People, individuals who people feel that they can trust, number one, people that they feel will represent them authentically, will be there to fight for them and the issues and the different things that matter most to them in their everyday life. We had a situation that occurred in my hometown, in Crisp County, in Cordele, where I thought, if I was in the state position, I would have been here. If I had to take a plane to make it back to deal with this situation, I would have been here to address it and to show the people in the community that, look, we see you, we hear you, we feel what you feel. If it hurt you, it hurt me. So visibility is one of the shortfalls and one of the pitfalls, because when you've been in positions for a long period of time, sometimes people tend to forget who it
Right.
was that sent them there in the beginning, in the
Yeah.
first place. So yeah, those are my opinions about that.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. So now we're going to get into questions about the education system of your state and your district.
Mhm.
You have emphasized expanding after school tutoring and counseling.
Yeah.
What specific programs would you fund, and how will you ensure those services are accessible to students in underserved communities across your district?
Yes, definitely. I would fund after school programs. Most definitely. I've heard that in several of in the districts that I have visited, that a lot of their after school programs, the funding has been cut off. And those state funds had once been allocated for these different areas, has somehow disappeared or ran out. They're not sure what the situation is, but they care so much about the students in their area that they want to assure that these services are re-implemented again, because we have to invest in the future of our children. We have to make sure that we provide programs and services for them that continue to cause their young minds to grow and thrive, to improve their critical thinking skills, to give them hands-on skills, to teach them even life skills. I know as a teacher, part of my job as an educator was always to pour into the lives of the students. And so having someone, even in an after school program, that can do that will help in more than one way. It will help better prepare them for their state mandated tests, which we know as the Georgia milestone. And they call them different things. They refer to them as different things now. But those kids, they need those extra skills to be able to perform well on those state mandated tests. And then also to implement STEM programs and STEAM programs that gives kids the opportunity to learn about things like robotics and also those who are really proficient in the arts to allow them to be able to expand their knowledge base in those particular areas. So I will definitely propose legislation that will allow state funding in the form of grants, even if I can push for federal funding, definitely to get these programs implemented all over rural Georgia, and especially in the districts that I have visited who have expressed this is what they need. We need this, and to make sure it's covered for our children. So, yeah, I'm. You can tell I'm very passionate about what I, want to do for kids as far as after school and tutoring and just, building their critical thinking skills and give them that hands-on approach. Yeah.
And what's unfortunate is that the current federal level administration is defunding a lot of arts programs, right? They're being seen as, well, they don't produce careers that make a lot of money, right? So why are we investing in these things? We should be investing in careers where people are going to make lots of money. Suddenly, Americans are just people who are here to make money for, the capitalists. And if you want to play an instrument, however you want to do that, or you want to be a singer or an actor, or you want to direct films, suddenly you're not, your career is looked upon as being flighty or, not worthwhile. So trying to get Republicans, I don't know how it is in the state of Georgia, but in the state of Ohio, it's difficult. One of the first things to go is always the after schools, the sports, the arts, art classes.
Yes,
even.
yes. And it is the same way here as well. But I compare it to, at one particular time, and Ronald might know this, that it seemed as though during high school time, when students are preparing to graduate, everyone was pushing, for them to go to college, and a 4-year degree is the way to go. I mean, it's wonderful all around, but there is a lot to be said about those hands-on skills that kids can achieve at the technical college, because they get those hands-on skills. They can learn how to be a welder. They can pick up on electronics and how to wire houses and just, hands-on things, So we can't play down one and play up the other, but just try to meet students where they are. If they feel that they could make a better living by obtaining hands-on skills at the local community college or the technical college, we should fund that, and we should push that and encourage them to be able to do that. On the same token, we want to definitely encourage our students to pursue 4-year degrees and even higher education on the graduate level, master's and doctorate degrees. But it can be done on the technical level. And I have seen students who went on to live productive lives just from getting a degree at the technical college. And the reason I can speak so fondly of it, I worked at our local technical college for over 15 years, and I assisted students in being able to get enrolled there and to pick up those needed skills. So yeah, we just have to meet them where they are.
Okay, Miss Cynthia, but how are we going to pay? We have no monies, Miss Cynthia.
So
Higher education costs a lot of money in this country.
It does.
A lot.
It does. And so one of the things that I will push for is an extension of what we had in place a long time ago. We had the Hope Scholarship and the Hope Grants. There
Right.
is a lot of money that is out there, and we don't want to make any mistake about it. The monies are there, especially when it comes to our children and educating our children. So I will continue to push for portions of even the Georgia lottery money to be allocated toward education and funding education. If you want to know what I'm going to do that because I know it is possible. I know things changed over the years, and even the Hope Scholarship and the Hope Grant, it changed. But I do know that there are equal opportunity grants that are available, especially for students in rural areas. There is well, I think they discontinued the Pell Grant pretty much, but there are still equal opportunity grants that are available for students to be able to pursue higher education. So I'm going to uncover whatever is available, push for new legislation that will focus directly on making sure that our kids' education can be funded, K through 12, and then higher ed.
And I like that one statistic I heard today. I'm reading a book. I cannot remember the name of it. I just started it. It's called I can't say the word on TikTok. It's DEATH, of despair and the future of capitalism. And one of the things it talks about is how people who have higher education tend to live longer because they're not unaliving from stress. They're not self-deleting, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
And so they are living longer because they feel more hopeful about their future. Their opportunities are increased. And so definitely higher education is tied to you just feel better. You feel better about yourself. You feel better about the world around you. But we got to make it affordable. We got to make it affordable.
Exactly. And we want it where I stand. I want to make it or push legislation and policy that will allow every child that desires to go to college or to pursue a technical education, whatever form of higher ed they choose to walk in, that they have the opportunity to do that, that those extended credits and grants are available for them to be able to do that. When I went back to school as a non-traditional student, and I was blessed to be sponsored by many donors who just believed in those of us who had the courage, especially as a non-traditional student, to want to pursue higher education. And my entire education was funded by donors, faithful donors who gave toward me. I think the only thing I ended up having to spend out of pockets was occasionally for some books, but my
that is wonderful.
tuition was covered by donors who sold into my education and who helped to make it possible for me to continue my education, higher education, as a non-traditional student. So how that translates is I was a woman of a certain age, as we discussed earlier.
Well kept. Well kept, Miss
You were a well-kept woman.
Thank you, Rob. I was already well kept when I decided to go back to school and pursue higher education. So I was just so grateful, eternally grateful for the scholarship opportunities that were afforded me. Now, I will say to everyone who's listening in, I kept up the grades. Okay, let's hear that. I did, and I actually cried at one point because I finished the semester with an 89, and
nice.
It just wouldn't do for me. I cried so long about that. So I was all about the academics, okay?
That's awesome. Well, Miss Cynthia, I appreciate your responses. I'm going to send it over to Ronald for our next category, which is agriculture.
Yes, but if I may, Ayana, I just want to ask a follow-up,
go ahead.
question. I've noticed, even though this is not what was in our topic, I think it falls under the same window. Our CAPS program for the state of Georgia, basically for women to go to school or even just with childcare, period, to get them in early childhood development. I have noticed, just speaking with some single mothers within my little community that I am,
Mm-hmm.
that they basically want you to have nothing to provide something.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know, what are some of your ideals, or what can you bring forward for that woman, especially in this environment that we are inflated with everything right at this current time, gas.
Mm-hmm.
So they're budgeting
Yeah.
tight, but they still need that help. And
Mm-hmm.
childcare now is $235 a week, but
Mm-hmm.
just need that small little help to also keep the household together. How
Right.
would you help your district to alleviate some of that for a single mother, as far as with the caps in early childhood development and paying that for that child?
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you asked that, Ronald, because actually, I will push for a pre-K expansion,
Hmm.
okay, that will allow moms to be able to provide childcare for their underage kids without that being such a burden unto them. Startup grants, I would propose, would increase from $8,000 to $30,000 per classroom, meaning that anyone that wanted their child to go to school would be able to do that, and then it would allow for the moms and the parents to have a means, for their kids to be taken care of without worrying about having to have extra child care payments. It would be covered all in one lump sum. So it's basically, um, I think it's more like a wish list, but I think it is possible. We have a pre-K program here in my local community
Hmm.
that serves a lot of families and moms and whatnot, and they ended up incorporating it and making it a part of the actual school system that is here. So if we can duplicate that same process in a lot of the other counties, especially that are within my other districts, I think that would be a wonderful opportunity for moms to say, okay, I might not have the money to pay, for non-traditional child care service, but if I can take them to this particular program that is funded also by the school, I can go out and work and feel confident, leaving my child somewhere. Because I have heard of horror stories where moms are told, if you're not here right at 5 o'clock, different things, and that should not be. So what I am proposing is having a place for the younger ones to be able to go a pre-K program that is funded by the state. And if we could somehow connect that to the existing school, as far as their curriculum and how they choose to educate their kids, the way that we are doing, thankfully, here in my hometown, I think it would be a wonderful opportunity for moms.
I think it would be too. Now get to my favorite part, honey.
Okay.
If I like to talk about food. If I don't know, if I ain't gonna talk about nothing else, I'm gonna
You
talk
gonna
about
talk
food.
about food.
So, farmers in the district are facing rising costs in fuel, fertilizer, and equipment. What specific
Mhm.
policies would you support to help the remaining financial sustainability?
Um, I think for me, okay, if we're talking about food, there's no way we could talk about food without talking about the high price of groceries right now.
Yeah.
All of this is a domino effect that affects everywhere when you think about it. the higher food costs, it affects the farming capability. It affects how they are able to farm and produce food and get those, necessary foods to the market, so that we can buy them at a reasonable price. I would propose, first of all, that we look out for our farming community. We have to make provisions and come up with ways that our farming community can be protected, because at the end of the day, that's how we thrive. If we don't have the food that comes from our farming communities, our grocery stores would shut down. We
Yeah.
would not have a need for grocery stores. And sadly, we are seeing some that are having to close because the farmers are just not there. There's not enough funding that protects farmers, especially considering the high cost of everything. If we're dealing with high costs, they are dealing with high costs, trying to be able to farm effectively and then provide what they can to the extended areas. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. So, what bills would you say to help the farmers specifically, to help offset the cost so that it can? I heard your ripple effect, because it starts
Yeah.
within the farm and then it affects us when it leaves the farm. So, what bills or particular funding would you put into place that will actually help us to offset streamline the offset of the cost?
I believe, for me, and I am still speaking with individuals who are directly affected with this, or related to this particular topic, to find out what their needs are, to understand better what it would take in order for them to be able to feel that, that they can survive, that they can produce, what is expected of them to produce, without them feeling like, well, I have to close the whole farm down, because I can't afford the equipment. We're in a drought right now in my area. And as I began to travel to some of the rural communities, I saw how they had their irrigation systems going. And we can just imagine the cost that is associated with having that type of equipment. Imagine if a farmer is not able to properly irrigate his crops, and he ends up losing the crops. That's going to put a bad financial burden, a very terrible financial burden upon him and what he does, and even for his livelihood and his family. So I am looking to continue conversations with individuals that are directly related with this particular area, and find out what funding would be best suitable for our local farmers, and what would it take to help continue to keep them afloat.
You're muted, Ronald.
Yeah, I can't.
Bless my heart. Jesus, I'm a man of a certain age, Miss Cynthia. A man of a certain age.
Oh,
Are you
Ronald,
well
don't
kept,
tell
Ronald?
me,
Are you
don't
well
tell
kept?
me I aged you just for being on.
Now, Ayana, help me with this. I forgot, what are they actually building in these communities that is affecting, like, the offset of the cost of the electricity and things? I
Oh, the
forgot.
AI data centers.
Yes. Now,
Mm.
here is the thing with this. I know that they're practically taking potential farming away from these AI data centers, but the way that the state are trying to fund these, do you think, with the same funding that they're trying to do with the AI data centers, if they only invest that within farmers, that will be our solution?
I'm not sure that I totally agree with the way that you worded it. Could you
Mm-hmm.
word it a little bit different? Because from my understanding of what is taking place now concerning the data centers, that it
Mm-hmm.
is going to affect everyone. I mean,
Yes.
especially our farmers,
Yes.
because it deals with irrigation and
Hmm.
water quality and even
Hmm.
air quality and all
Hmm.
of those things. So I don't know that I fully understood the way that you worded it.
So what I'm saying is, and I'm sorry if I didn't do it to explain it better. So what I'm saying is the funding that they want to give these AI data centers,
Mm-hmm.
to help offset the cost,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed not giving it to them, but turn it around and give it to the farmers. Would you
Mm-hmm.
believe that that would help us with our farm, what we got going on as far as with the agriculture in Georgia? So
Most
just
definitely.
what's the word I'm looking for? Transferring the money to somebody else, to the farmers. That's what we're gonna do.
Most definitely,
Redirecting. There
yes.
we go, baby. Redirecting.
Yes, reallocate the money
Reallocating.
directly to the farmers would be a
Hmm.
wonderful idea.
Hmm.
And I love that. And I will borrow that from you. Yes, when I begin to push and talk about the effects of these data centers. So I think if something like that is put into place, if we can roll that out, it would probably cause more people to maybe be a little bit more receptive of what's going on. Because what I'm hearing everywhere I travel, people are against it, uh,
Hmm.
because like everyone else, we fear what it will do to to the environment.
Hmm.
We understand the risk that it could pose. So it is necessary that this be handled in the right way. One of the first thing that I will insist upon is that any development that would has the potential to affect our water and air supply, that they get a public health review before any ground is broken. And I know, there are going to be a lot of places that this is going to be a little bit behind in order, for something like this to take place. However, for those places like my hometown in Cordele, where it is definitely a proposal at this point, and it is expected to be rolled out over the next few years, I am definitely going to push and make sure that there is a public health review that is done, before they begin to break ground on a data center here.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. But I
And
do appreciate that because I think that's a wonderful idea, and it would be a way that I think people would be more readily accepting of something like that. It has to be where we feel that as a community and as a people that we're going to gain something positive out of this, other than it just taking away from us. The benefits have to outweigh the risk.
yes, definitely agree. I just have one final question. I'm sorry to redirect you.
That's okay. That's okay.
um, we have talked about this earlier. And you have brought it up. It says that agriculture depends on heavily on reliable workforce. Yet,
Hmm.
many farmers are struggling to find labor. What solutions do you support to address the workforce shortage in this sector? Now, you did bring up that they was trying to do migrant housing and being given them the first choices on buying houses. But what other programs outside of that do you think that can to attract more workers to due to the shortage of workforce?
Um, Now, I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of our conversation
Hmm.
related to data centers, because
Uh-huh.
the whole data center idea is built on a false narrative that it
Okay.
is going to generate lots and lots of jobs, and that is not true. That is not the case. Actually, it's going on average. It's probably going to end up in every city where one is, will be built or open up. Roughly about 20 jobs. The most of the jobs, from what I have researched, will end up being outsourced jobs that will be from people that are brought in to do the work rather than hiring people on a local level, to take those jobs and those positions. So it's a lot that has to be ironed out. A lot of truth has to be told when it comes to data centers and the effects that they're going to have in a particular area. Now, as it relates to jobs, on another level, as far as making sure we had a situation, and I can only relate it to what I have experienced personally, and I'll try to make it quick.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
had several of our local businesses to just go out of business. We had a huge place in Cordele. I think it was called Big Tex, and it actually survived for 10 years. And I think it supplied roughly about 200 jobs to individuals here. Well, they went out of business. I mean, just a sad time. We're already struggling. People are already struggling, and to have big manufacturing companies, they manufactured those trailers that a lot of guys purchase, to pull behind their trucks. And they went out of business. And it was a blow to our community because so many people depended on that job. So I would, number one, push for legislation that will work hand in hand with our economic development in our rural areas to make sure that the best manufacturing jobs are brought to our areas, and then giving them incentives to make sure they can survive and stay here so that we can keep people employed in our local areas. Because a situation like what happened with that particular entity, it hurt a lot of individuals.
Yes.
And so we have to make sure that things like this don't continue to happen. We have to come up with a way, and so that we can bring jobs here, keep jobs here, and encourage large corporations to want to invest in our small areas with these businesses. So that is one way that I intend to do it. Again, jobs, hiring jobs, making sure local jobs are kept local, making sure that we work together with our economic development in our different communities to make sure that those best jobs are brought to us and kept here amongst us is what I'll be pushing for.
Okay, great. And at this time, I'm going to turn it back to the Ayana that has been waiting for you patiently. And thank you so much for your answers. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I have been waiting because I have something completely ridiculous that I would like to get to here, Miss Cynthia. These are the
Okay.
fun rapid fire questions.
Oh, wow.
This is just to test your knowledge of the place that you live in, just to see how well versed you are in the lingo and the food and the language, just to make sure you're a true Georgian, okay? We're not sending any
peach, a Georgia peach.
Thank you. We're not sending any posers to the State House, okay?
Exactly.
Now, Miss Cynthia, what'll it be? Buc-ee's or Piggly Wiggly?
Piggly Wiggly.
Okay. All right.
In my area. Now, in my area, okay. In rural Georgia. Now, if you move on up a little further north, it's definitely Buc-ee's, and I love Buc-ee's.
Okay.
But in the South, I need a Piggly Wiggly.
You need a Piggly Wiggly.
If you don't mind.
I've been to Piggly Wiggly actually, if you can believe that. Peach cobbler or peach ice cream.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go with peach cobbler.
Okay.
And
Okay.
again, it is based on demographics and where you are, where you live. I mean, I could see the peach ice cream, but where I live, oh man, we live for peach cobbler.
Oh my gosh. I haven't had peach cobbler in a long time. My sister makes she makes peach pie, peach cobbler. Oh, listen.
And now, Ayana, if you come to where I live, I will give you a peach cobbler because we have peaches in abundance in South Georgia.
Okay, now, Miss Cynthia, I hate to break your heart with this question, but if peaches were to be from Earth, what fruit or item could replace the peach for the state of Georgia?
Oh my God. Watermelons.
Okay, watermelons. All
And you know
right.
why? Let me tell you why. Because Cordele is the watermelon capital of the world.
Of the world.
Of the world.
Ooh. How did that
That's
happen?
It's been that way ever since I was born.
Oh. So do y'all have like a watermelon festival or
Yes, yes, please look it up.
oh.
And
I
we
just
are
looked it up.
fastly approaching we have a watermelon pageant. We have a watermelon parade. We have seed spitting contest.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes, we do. Watermelon
You're
ice
not lying. I'm
cream,
watching it.
a full festival. Guys, please look this up. I kid you not. There are
Wow.
some people are in the chat. They are agreeing with me. I kid you not.
And this
Wow.
year is June. It's in June, and it's the 77th year.
I wonder what the
Definitely.
history is behind that. That is so incredible. I have
Oh,
never,
please.
we had a candidate on here once from Kentucky who was from a town where it's famous for a sweet potato festival. They had a sweet potato big time festival and a sweet potato costume contest and wow.
Yes, we have. It's huge here. It really is during that time. Yes, in June, it is huge here. And that's when our watermelons are harvested from the fields. They actually grow in the field, and we have a huge market here where they send watermelons all over the world.
Oh, you
Mhm.
probably have the best watermelon too.
Oh, we do every
I'm just
kind.
thinking about it right now.
Don't make me name them. Don't make me start naming.
Now, Miss Johnson, have you ever had a yellow watermelon?
Yes,
I haven't had one yet.
I had
it's
never
one.
even seen it.
It's one of
Hmm.
my husband's favorites. I was kind of partial to the red watermelons, and I tasted a piece of yellow one time, and I'm hooked now.
Oh,
You
What
know,
does it
really?
taste like? Is it
it
sweeter? Is it
tastes just
tart or?
it usually it's sweeter. I'm serious. I kid you not.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm a.
when I first started eating it though, I had to close my eyes because I couldn't get over the color. But now I can eat it with my eyes wide open.
wow, a yellow watermelon. Oh my gosh,
And
I am
it's
missing out.
delicious. It's
I am being
delicious.
deprived up here in Ohio.
Yes,
We're
yes.
known for our different types of sausages.
Oh, wonderful.
No,
Ooh.
not at all.
But literally, though, you could watch anything related to our watermelon festival. It's televised, and even you can find it, I think, on Facebook and YouTube as well.
Oh, I'm gonna have to
Mhm.
check that out. Okay, Miss Cynthia.
Please
Speaking
do.
of sweet things, what is your sweet tea level? Polite, southern, or diabetes in a cup?
Um, Actually, I prefer an Arnold Palmer. Yeah, so I hope I'm not getting in trouble about
I
this,
don't
but
know.
when as it's related to tea, that is sweet tea, that's half sweet and half unsweetened tea, and I add lemon in mine.
You know what? That might not be so. I feel like I like lemonade. I like tea with lemonade, or with lemon rather. So I like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, half
But
sweet, half unsweetened, and
half unsweetened.
I add lemon in mine.
Oh, you add lemon in
I
yours.
add lemon in mine.
Okay. All right. You got the recipe.
I do. I do.
Okay, Miss Cynthia. Apparently we're having too much fun. They want us to get back to
Yes,
politics. Since
yes,
we have
yes,
10
yes,
minutes, we
yes,
have 10
yes.
minutes left.
Okay.
I'll get to the final questions here. When you are elected, what is the first major issue you would want to tackle as the Georgia House of Representatives representative? And how would your leadership style ensure voices of everyday residents guide your decisions?
My first piece of legislation would definitely be affordable health care and the expansion of it, because I have seen the effects of when this is affected, how it affects everyday people. And I tell the story everywhere I go about my 83-year-old mom and how she has to often, very often, make the decision between her prescription drugs and whether or not she can do simple things like pay the light bill, you know. So, my first piece of legislation will be directed towards seniors and making sure that there are additional subsidies that are provided for them in the form of health care, expanding the affordable health care, especially with our elderly in mind. Um, we have to look out for the most vulnerable amongst us. And that in my area is the senior citizens who are often overlooked. Many of them feel forgotten because they are expected to maintain a lifestyle that, truthfully, by the age of, say, someone as old as my mom, who has been blessed to live as long as she has lived, should not have those added expenses. And if and it might sound a little bit offset, but to me, if you've lived to be in your 70s, you talk about a seasoned woman and men. If you've lived to be in your 70s, to me, you should not have to pay the high cost of groceries. You should just have a way to go and get the groceries that you need. Why? Because you paid your dues all these years. So why are you now in your late 70s, early 80s still struggling? The struggle has to end. So it begins with the elderly and the most vulnerable amongst us. So definitely I will push legislation.
And I agree with you. Under the current White House administration, we're seeing cuts to the Meals on Wheels program.
Yes, yes.
And that is, I learned the most about that when Donald Trump was cutting it. It's not just food. It's more
Mm-hmm.
than that. It's
Yeah,
transportation to doctor appointments. It's paying for some doctor bills, doctor visits. It's
yeah,
housing assistance. It's a lot
yeah.
of things.
Everything that affects their sustainability and their ability to be able to thrive in times like we are living in now. Listen, people, this is what's so important and heartfelt to me. We have a wonderful opportunity right now to be able to change the trajectory of what is taking place in our country and in our communities. And we have to make sure that we seize this moment in history. Elect people in office who are going to do more than just talk about the situation, but they will perform the action that is needed to bring about the necessary change. That is what I aim to do. I've listened to people talk. years and years and years, and nothing changed. It's time for real change to take place in our communities. And hopefully, some of those that, as I mentioned, who have already paid their dues all these years, they can finally see, oh, wow, I lived all this time and now I can finally see that change has truly come. And if you let me, I'll break out into a song, but I won't do it.
Why not? I mean,
I
if you,
just,
I sang at the beginning of this program, Miss Cynthia.
I noticed, Ayana. I won't do it.
But Miss Cynthia, I love you. I'll just say
Oh,
that. I
thank
love you.
you.
You
I
are a
love
dear,
you
you are a
too.
sweetheart. I want you to tell the people where they can find you online and how they can support your campaign. Because I know these grassroots campaigns, they can
Yeah,
be a pain. They can be a
yes,
pain.
yes,
Oh,
they
wait a minute.
can.
Wait, Miss Cynthia. We have a question from the audience.
Okay, all right. Let's hear it.
Hey there,
Mother of the
Sionka.
church, Miss Cynthia Johnson, Mother of the church, Reverend
Hi,
Pastor Cynthia
hi.
Johnson. How are you, young lady?
I am wonderful. How are you, dear?
I'm doing great. I just want to give you flowers. We thank you and we appreciate you. And I'm half a peach. My dad, God bless his rest and soul, he's from Andersonville, Georgia. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, he's his family's in Macon and all over the place. But we just want to give you your flowers, and we're going to induct you to be the OVC auntie. So
Oh,
you're giving us that auntie and that mother vibes. So we
yeah.
really appreciate it. We really appreciate you, and we wish you the best.
Thank you.
And you just
Thank
keep
you.
going on, keeping going strong. All right.
Yes, and please, I need your prayers. I need for you to
Yes,
follow
ma'am.
me. And that was the question Ayana was just asking. You can follow me on Facebook at Cynthia Johnson for Georgia. You can follow, I'm in the process of revamping my web page, but currently it is CynthiaIgnitesHope.com. So either one of those, Cynthia Johnson for Georgia on Facebook, and Cynthia Ignites Hope on is my website.
And they can follow you here on TikTok.
Yes, they
Absolutely.
You guys
can.
hit that plus sign next
Definitely.
to Miss Cynthia's name and follow her
Yes,
here on TikTok.
definitely. Please do.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm following her.
and donate, please. And if you can't
Yes.
donate, you know what? There are so many ways to support a grassroots campaign. You can repost the person's social media videos. You can tell
Yeah,
people who live in the area about the primary vote. The primary vote is coming up on May the 19th,
it
and
is.
early voting starts next week. Correct?
Yes, April 27th, and it will run through May 15th.
So early voting is coming up. You can spread the word in Georgia. I have family in Georgia. I'm definitely going to tell them. I don't think they live in your district, but they probably know somebody who lives in your district. We
Yeah,
all know somebody who knows somebody, Miss
we
Cynthia.
do, don't we? So
Yes.
definitely spread the word. Thank you.
Yes. And,
Thank you.
just if you can volunteer your time, whatever you can do, give to the
Yeah,
grassroots candidates, the people who are doing it on their own without the big donor dollars, who are
right.
just relying on their communities to help propel them into office. It's a noble cause. Thank you so much, Miss Cynthia, for being here with us tonight, for being on time, number one.
Yes,
I love it.
yes,
I
yes,
love it. We have
yes.
some who don't be showing up on time, but thank you for being on time, for being present, and being willing to answer all of our questions. I appreciate that. I want you guys to know that we have another town hall coming up at 9 o'clock. We will be
Oh, wow.
featuring Brad Chambers, who is running for Pennsylvania State House District 41 representative. There you see him on the screen. He's out of Pennsylvania, another state seat. So we're going to be discussing state politics again, but this time for the state of Pennsylvania. So join us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'd love to see you here. Again, Miss Cynthia, thank you so much for being here with us this evening. People, follow Miss Cynthia, follow Our Vote Counts.
Yeah,
Our journey is continuing. Hey, these primaries are going through September, and the general election is in November. The beat don't stop.
yes.
It don't stop, y'all.
Didn't
It
It
does
stop.
don't.
not. It does not. Thank you
Miss
guys
Cynthia,
again for having me. Yes,
I
thank
was just going
you.
to say if you
Thank
had
you.
any last words you wanted to share with everyone.
I want to encourage everybody to get out and vote. We are in Georgia. Georgia is poised to be flipped blue. Please do your part. Spread the word. Tell everyone you know that we don't have an option. We have to seize this moment in history and get out and change history for the better by electing those that are qualified to be a voice for those of us, especially in rural Georgia. So encourage everyone to vote all over the world, not just in Georgia, but especially Georgia, because we are poised to flip Georgia blue again. We will do it.
All right, you heard Miss Cynthia. You better vote. Vote,
Yes.
vote, vote, vote,
Please
especially in the
vote.
primary, especially in the
Yes.
primary.
Yes.
That's where you
Yes.
can
Please
choose
do.
Miss Cynthia in the
Yes.
primary. Get her
Exactly.
on to the
I would
general
love your
ballot.
support.
And again, we will welcome you all back here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Ronald, for joining
Thank
me this
you.
Thank
No
you,
evening.
problem.
Ronald. You
You're
were
welcome,
Oh, you're
Miss
such a bright
Johnson.
wonderful.
spot. I love you,
Thank
Ronald.
you.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I am Ayana. This is Our Vote Counts, a nonpartisan movement uniting Americans from all walks of life to empower voters, support candidates of integrity, and ensure every voice is heard through education, outreach, accountability, and action. We're building a stronger democracy, one informed vote at a time. And apparently, I forgot to tell the people about the roundtable on April 26th. We have a candidates roundtable. Miss Cynthia, if you want to join us again, and get your name out there even more and talk to candidates who have been on the show previously. We have candidates from the federal level and the state and local levels who talk about current events, who talk about the state of their campaigns, and just kind of, coalition build and build get some allies, get some teamwork going.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll send
Yeah.
you an
Well, please,
invitation.
I was just going to say, send me an invite. I would love to, because I have thoroughly enjoyed this evening.
All right, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. We'll send you an invite. I don't know, Miss Cynthia. It's on Sunday. Can you do Sunday at 3 o'clock?
Yeah. 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 The Lord understands. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Miss Cynthia.
We'll make it happen.
You will make it happen.
Yes.
All right, God
Yes,
willing. We'll
please
see you
send
then.
that invite. Okay, thank you
Thank you
guys
You're
so
so
much.
welcome.
much.
Everyone, remember, your vote is your power. Have a good evening. We'll see you back at 9 o'clock.
Bye
Take
bye.
Bye, bye,
care.
Ronald. Bye.